We are on air down here in the Wimbledon Museum, where they have a new exhibition celebrating the BBC and Wimbledon's 90-year relationship and their 50-year relationship with Colour TV. And I've got Anna Renton here. She is a museum curator. And Anna, how important is it to have this exhibition to celebrate this amazing achievement?
Well, it's really important to us to be able to celebrate this relationship between Wimbledon and the BBC, but also just to celebrate how important Wimbledon's been in the history of broadcasting, which might be something a lot of people don't know.
Well, it's a pretty special relationship they've got going, and one that lots of people like to watch. But Anna, can you talk me through some of the facts and figures which are going on over here? Because it kind of just shows how the relationship is with... I'm going to bring down here first to the relationship and how many viewers there are. Just talk us through that, please, Anna.
Yeah, so the BBC TV audience peaked at 17.3 million for Andy Murray's final in 2013. And they consistently get really high ratings for Wimbledon, which is great. So on this board, we're just kind of talking about some of those really interesting facts that we found out while we were researching for the exhibition. So there are 80 miles of broadcast cable used at Wimbledon.
That's such a long way, isn't it?
It's such a long way, yeah. It's a lot. Actually, the first radio broadcast used cable. It was actually cable that ran all the way from here to central London to do that broadcast. But then that would only be about 9 miles, so you think now there's an awful lot more.
80 miles. And I just want to draw your attention to this as well. I don't know if you can hear it, but the theme tune of Wimbledon and the BBC is going on, and that theme tune is Light and Tuneful by Keith Mansfield here, and this is obviously just showing exactly what he would have played. These are notes here, and that was actually, as it says up here, intentionally library music, and then it became so iconic, really, didn't it, that they made it the theme tune, Anna?
Well, yeah, I mean, the BBC just picked it as library music and then turned it into the theme that we know so well today.
And then talk us through Wimbledon through the ages. What is this? What is this to do with the BBC and the relationship with Wimbledon?
Well, so this is a lovely radio set, which is just like the ones that people would have been able to listen to in 1927. So 1927 was the very first radio broadcast from Wimbledon, and the commentators were Teddy Wakelam and Colonel Brand, and they were in a very small box on centre court. They got about 5 broadcasts done during the championships. And yeah, I mean, they had to kind of slot into the schedule amongst other things. And
talk me through, you said he was unfazed. He had a bit of a mishap, didn't he, at one time when he was commentating?
Yeah, so Teddy Wakelam once set fire to his notes with his cigarette, and but was very unflappable and just put them out and carried on commentating.
Carried on commentating, even though there was a fire to his commentary notes. I wonder if Rob Walker could do the same thing. And then come over here as well. And what is going on here, Anna, please?
So here we're just talking about 1937, which was the first television broadcast from Wimbledon. So TV was incredibly experimental in 1937. Only about 2,000 people had television sets, and there wasn't really a lot of programming on television. But Wimbledon was selected to be only the second ever outside broadcast, and we think it's probably the first time that tennis was broadcast on television.
But it could only have then a maximum audience of 2,000 people watching the championships back in 1937. Well, let's keep walking through this exhibition, and I'm going to draw your attention now to BBC2 Colour. Anna, talk us through this, please.
So 50 years ago, the very first regular colour television service in Europe began on the BBC, and it began with coverage from Wimbledon. So David Attenborough was the controller of BBC2 at the time, and he was looking to be the first in Europe to have this colour television. And so what he did, he had a very limited number of TV cameras, and he knew that if he set them up on centre court, he'd be able to have coverage all day, enough to be able to say they were the first in Europe.
What a clever chap. And that's, I guess, one of the cameras that he probably have.
So this is a camera from 1936. So this is one of the very old cameras, and it's very rare. There's only 6 of them in the world, and this one's on loan to us from the Science Museum in Bradford.
Pretty special, and only 6 of those cameras in the whole world. Frank, I'm just going to turn you around to that. That's what the TVs used to look like back in the day. The youngsters watching, they don't look like that anymore. They're now flat screen on your wall somewhere, all high tech. And then Anna, what's going on here, please? This is obviously what the cameras now look like. We just saw the old school ones there, only 6 in the world. This is what they now look like. Anna, please explain what's this about.
So here we're just really talking about the amazing broadcast operation that occurs at Wimbledon now every year. So going from a period of time where there were maybe only 2 or 3 cameras on centre court, there are now 30 cameras on centre court, and they're taking in all sorts of different views, both of spectators, the action, slow motion, and there's even robotic cameras as well.
Three cameras to 30 cameras just on centre court. That's just one court has 30 cameras. That's mega, isn't it? And I mean, the last thing I want to talk about, Frank, I'm going to stand this side so you can see me. Anna, whose jacket is this and why is it so special?
So this is Sue Barker's jacket, which she's kindly lent to us for this exhibition, and it's the one that she was wearing when she interviewed Andy Murray after his victory in 2013. So it's a very special jacket for her, and we're really pleased to have it in the exhibition.
And there were some strawberry pants there as well, which look quite cool, don't they?
Yeah, they're amazing. So they're from the late Bud Collins, and so we're really happy to have those here in the exhibition as well.
Well, thanks for going through all that with us, Anna. This is the Wimbledon Museum down here, and this is the exhibition which is celebrating the BBC's and Wimbledon's 90-year relationship. Come and check it out.